Well, good morning, folks. Well, it might not be morning while you're watching, but it's morning for me. Um, so, if you have followed in the past, you may have seen this sitting in the background. This is my 2007 GMC Sierra half-ton. This is the truck that I replaced my 2003 Ford F-250 Super Duty about 4.5 years ago. And the only reason why I had this truck was it was the only one that I could get financed. And yes, I am an idiot. I am an idiot. I was in a bad place in my head at that point, and I was having a hard time making decisions. And the old Super Duty, it had just worn out on me. I had it almost 10 years. I was tired of working on it. I loved the truck, but it wasn't a good daily driver anymore. I wanted a truck that was a decent daily driver. Well, I couldn't get a 3/4 ton at all. I couldn't get finance for one. It just could not do it. And it really kind of pissed me off because I have owned like a ton of vehicles that I have gotten loans from. I've always paid off on time or early. It really ticked me off. Well, this one was the one that I was able to get. And from the get-go, it's been a challenge. I had it 20 minutes and the fuel pump went in it. Luckily, the dealership made good on that, but from then on, speakers went. It was kind of a bit of a lemon, but it was in fairly good shape. And I had high hopes as far as I was, mechanically inclined. I could make it to what I needed. I built the sideboards. I put 3/4 ton leaf springs in the back with an add-a-leaf kit because I was going to carry, heavy stuff. It had the 4.8 liter. I did have a programmer in it at one time, but the programmer, it just didn't want it anymore. So I returned it to factory settings and I just drove it. I just spent a bunch of money on it. I had the transmission service. I replaced the transmission lines. I've always serviced this thing when it was needed. The worst thing I've really done to it as far as not maintaining it is keeping it clean. But unfortunately, last winter, I didn't undercoat the frame. And even though the frame actually isn't too awful bad for the most part, even these two cross members aren't that bad. But I'll tell you what, on top of this one is just a pile of sediment. It's terrible. I went to get it inspected, and the guy at the inspection station, there was a small tiny hole going on right, where was it? Okay, so it was right in this corner, and I was hoping he was gonna overlook it because it wasn't that bad. Well, he saw it, and instead of just saying, hey, you got a rust hole, gonna feel it, he took the ball peen hammer to it, or a hammer or something, and made it worse. And I mean, obviously I know that was not structurally sound. It actually, so right on this corner here, it rotted out all the way back to somewhere in there, and it goes up in there a little bit, and it's just kind of, worse than just patching it and moving on. My dad was going to patch it this last week, and he had to cancel on me last minute, which got me under here looking at it more. And I took the air hammer and I went around everywhere to just kind of see how far it went. And I got looking around underneath here and decided I'm going to take the bed off. Stuff that I've done in the past. This bed is it's pretty much toast. Inners are completely gone. The inside of the bed is it's falling apart. And like I did with my Super Duty, I took that bed off and I built my own bed, which is going to be what happens with this. I have to put on some rocker panels on this. And there's a couple other different things. I just did a bunch of front end work, so that's good. I thought I had a transmission leak, and I'll show you what's going on here. I just serviced the tranny, and right in there, you probably can't see it, but there's fluid. And I'm like, friggin' thing is leaking, blah, blah, blah. I was freaking out. I was just like, this thing's totally useless. I still owe money on this truck, and it looks like this. And I was like, it's leaking. Well, I left I feel so stupid. I left the chainsaw oil in the truck, and I had done something, and it flipped upside down, and it was leaking out of the top. So thankfully it doesn't have a transmission leak. That was the answer for that. But I just unbolted it, and I got a buddy of mine that owns a wrecker service down the road. I was gonna have him lift it off, but I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna do a video on this, I'm gonna get a little clever. So I measured, put it up on the ramps, and I measured an inch above the level it is right now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these two, which are 38 inches, both of them. I'm gonna jack the truck up. It's sitting at about 37 inches right now. I'm gonna jack it up to about 39 inches on the back here, and I'm gonna put these two supports, one right there, one right there, and then I'm gonna take my cribbing that I have, carry the front. I'm gonna pull the ramps out from underneath and just drop it down. And I'm pretty sure in doing that, I'll be able to take the bed off. And then it'll just be a matter of, most likely, I gotta take my sideboards off my trailer, but I'll just back my trailer underneath it, set it on the trailer, and move it. I'll probably clean a spot here for it. And most likely just sell it. I mean, it's still kind of holding on. There might be somebody out there that wants it. But I'm all done with it. I'm gonna just go make my own flatbed. And I can usually make these frames last a little bit longer here in Maine, having a flatbed, because it opens it up and I can keep them clean, keep them undercoated. So either this is genius, or it's like the most unsafest way to do this in the whole world. So what I've been doing is I, established the base line 38 inches back here, which almost clears the tires, but not quite. That was the max amount I could cut out of that beam to make the back part the highest. And basically what I've been doing is I got it jacked up enough off, what am I trying to say, off from the frame, that I was able to slip this 2x6 in there. And then I set it back down on here and took the supports out from underneath the bed on the sides, and then I just kept adding a block on the jack and stacking more boards on top of here. And I think I'm on the last push. I put that one up in there, and I think I can get it high enough to take that 2x4 out, stick another 2x6 in there with the 2x4 on top of it, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to clear it and drive out from underneath it. Yeah. And I cut these at 38 inches as well. I had some red oak sitting over there, so I utilized those. And it's somewhat stable. When it's down on these, it's actually pretty stable. When it's not on those and I'm jacking from the center, it gets a little shady. But stay tuned. So this is where disaster could strike. It's pretty stable. Let's do it. Yep. So the reason I'm doing this, you obviously saw the bad spot in the frame, but also is because this cross member on these trucks always get pretty bad right there. This one's not that bad. I knew it probably was getting bad, and this cross member usually gets bad too, but this one's not super bad either. But look at all that friggin' sediment up here in Maine. That's where it goes, it's where it ends up. And if you got any holes in your bed at all, it's even worse. Luckily I took my spare tire out a couple of years ago, and this isn't too bad back here. But needless to say, me going through the frame, needle scaling everything, and first I'm going to power wash it. I'm going to end up dropping the tank and doing the patch over there. I'm going to fix whatever's going on here, and if this is bad at any point, I may have to address that as well. Yeah, the front part of the frame is good. The rest of the truck's in pretty good shape. I do need to do rocker panels, but that's pretty much it. So some red oak, some 2x6s, some 6x6s. Bed is off. So I should have done it this way to begin with. It would have just made it so much easier. Yeah. But anyways, it looks better now, and I'm getting ready to just put it on the trailer. So what I'm going to do is, I mean, it's right there. I'm going to jack this up enough so it supports the bed, take those out, drop it down, and just use my lift over there to lift the back up enough to take those. Well, no, I got the ramp in the way. I think I can, yeah, I can just do it with the regular jack. But there we have it. And like I said, I'm gonna move this, move all that stuff. I'm gonna neaten this area up, and I'm just gonna set it right there. I'm gonna put it right on the rims and tires, and that way if anybody wants it, they can back right under it and take it away. Mercules putting in work. Oh man, that's funny. There she be. The only spot that's like kind of sucks is that it's just barely attached there. I mean, it'll bend back in place. Tack it right there. I don't know. Maybe it'll sell, maybe it won't. Like I said, 400 best offer. I mean, it's a bed. It would work. I just don't want it. I want to build a flatbed. So if anybody out there needs a bed for their late 2007 to, what is it, 2011, I think. It's a 6.5 foot bed. Right there. Well, now starts the process of cleaning the frame up and dropping this gas tank so that I can get to the areas that need to be patched. And once they're patched, I can clean the whole frame up. And I think I'm gonna look into doing lanolin based undercoating, but I also have a guy up the road that does it, or I might just do the old agricultural way. And for you guys out there that know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to mention it because somebody might tell on me. because it's not exactly EPA friendly, but it works pretty good. Well, that cross member, look inside there, isn't, I mean, it's definitely lost some layers. It's pretty much on its way out. Ah, man. But I think when I drop the tank, if it's all right all the way around, I'm just gonna leave it. But who knows? I might have to. This might be one of those challenges. Just gotta take care of it. I mean, luckily I got another vehicle that I can drive, so I'm gonna try to do this the best that I can. That way I have a decent truck. You know, I actually was thinking, I was just talking to my fiance about doing a shackle flip, you know what I mean, or reversal, I guess you'd call it. Put this one on that side, that one on this side, give it more lift. Then I'd have to do the front though, and if you're gonna do that, you might as well get tires. So maybe not this year, but definitely something in the future I may do. Anyways, that wraps up this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you watched this far, I really appreciate it. Till next time.